Hey traders, so another quick recap here of some of my Emini S&P 500 futures trading for the day, and overall a very good one. You can even consider it kind of excellent, exceptional. Anytime you're able to do over 10 points in a day, that's very good, especially if you have very limited risk. It's one thing if you're risking 5 points on every trade, but if you're only risking a point or two on trades, we risk 1.25 generally. If you're only risking that as a max, that's a really, really good return for a day. So not every day is going to be like that, but this one did offer some really nice potential, and only in a couple hours, which is pretty typical for me. Yesterday I traded for a few hours because I wanted a couple more trades, didn't take full advantage of some of the trending move, and so this one here did take pretty much full advantage of everything that I wanted to on here, and so I just called it a day after a couple hours, and that's a fairly normal day. So as we started out, we actually had seen some pretty good moves to the upside in the pre-market, and then started to stabilize a little bit, where we're kind of continuing a bit of that trending move from the previous day. So certainly a possibility, at least going in, that we might continue that. And we did see a pretty good push down here, though, and I was willing to try for a short early on. I couldn't get a fill on it early, and so I didn't want to take it late because I only wanted to take a trade like that going against some of those flows if the momentum in that short term was high. When that momentum started to shift, higher low coming in, not really willing to trade that anymore. So the no fill there early on. You got to keep in mind too, in that first 5 minutes, reversals and things are very common in the market. So if you're not getting that kind of picture perfect setup in those early minutes, things can turn very quickly. So you don't really want to step in front of those turns if it can be helped. So from there, though, we pushed up and had a nice long here. Entered a little bit more aggressively than I would typically, but we had a bit of a pattern forming here, little flip zone around that 0.25 acting as a bit of support. So entered a bit more aggressively, got a couple points on that, trading up in towards that previous high from earlier in the pre-market, but a lot of momentum, and we broke through that pretty cleanly. And so I started to have in mind the possibility that we could trend in the same way that we did yesterday, because we had high momentum break at those highs. And if we could push, up into those or a little bit beyond, maybe we would keep going. And I hoped for it to be a little bit higher momentum than it was. Most cases, 5 points is about the max target I typically aim for when I'm day trading. It's just a target that I'm more than happy with, and I don't want to get too greedy. So I just kind of set that in stone most of the time and just take it unless things are really, really high momentum, or sometimes moves to the downside, which are a bit more aggressive. But the 5 points is great. So I kind of just opened up my target and just decided that I'd kind of let the market take me wherever it wanted to go. And, I just kind of set things at that 5 points, and then was willing to take 2, 3, 4 points if that's what the market was offering. But it kept pushing up here, and pretty easy just kind of trailing stops behind these consolidations as price was moving along. And so that's all I did until I eventually got my fill there. And I gave one last try up here. Knew this was a bit more risky because we hadn't seen a ton of momentum on this move, and getting a little bit extended. So gave it a try, but once things kind of flattened out, weren't really following through, and we had lower highs and a lower low, I just got out as we came back, tried to minimize my loss there. But worst case scenario, I was only really willing to risk 3 ticks in total, so wasn't risking much. And then a good chance to go short because of the kind of limited momentum to the upside here, that we may come back and maybe a bit of profit taking, kind of fall back a little bit. So a good couple points till the momentum really slowed in here, and then opportunity to go the other way. And took a couple attempts here. One got a nice profit on, and then one here that didn't get anything on. Both of these traded fairly conservatively, again, just because the momentum started to get a bit more limited. So early on when the momentum was higher, I was being a bit more aggressive on my entries. And then as you can see, a bit more conservative, more conservative as things went. And then we saw that momentum step in again, and it started to get a bit more aggressive again. And, I was looking for more than this, trying to head down more into this area. But this was a place where we could see some buyers come in, where we had seen a breakout point. So when we started to struggle there, the momentum was starting to fade. I only really wanted to go into this and hold on to it if the momentum remained high. And I'm going against most of the flows of the day, so I was happy just to take what was available there, just bank that. And plus, it was already a very, very good day, so there's no reason to get greedy and try and look for the break and the big run. It might happen, sometimes it does, but it's not something that I'm too concerned about. Don't need to catch every big move that occurs in the market. If you try and do that, and you try and force something that isn't necessarily there, occasionally you will catch it, and it'll be very satisfying. but there'll be a lot of times where you will see good profits kind of disappear and price come back on you, and you'll probably hurt your profitability in the medium to long term. So usually happy just to take what's available when I'm going against those flows. So overall, very good day. Hopefully your day was good as well, and hope you enjoyed the recap. See you in the next one.